Oi, 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 bang, we're back, boom, boom. Today, we're doing a word which will strike fear into the heart of any child. Veggies, vegetables, eat your veggies. Now, I don't eat that much meat. Actually, I only eat meat maybe twice a week. A little bit chicken, usually pork. Don't eat that much meat. I used to eat a lot more. But some teenagers these days are going completely vegetarian. And of course, some go even further. They go completely vegan. Now, this is something that maybe is becoming a new thing. People are more interested in it. And if you look at today's website, there's a lot of information about vegetarians in history and celebrity vegetarians, of course. They love telling you about that. And then there's a trailer for a movie which is on Netflix about vegetarianism and all plant-based diets or something like that, which they call it, which is quite interesting. I actually started watching it and thought, well, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I ended up watching the whole thing. But still, so today we're doing a reading about vegetarians and not trying to convert you into a total plant-based diet. As I say, I myself, I like a bit of meat, a little bit of steak sometimes, only about once a month if I can, but I don't think I can go full vegetarian. But anyway, so we're going to do a sort of reading again, British Council, fantastic exercises there for you to do. And there's going to be a writing activity as well. So what do you think about vegetarianism? For example, school lunches. Do you think a vegetarian option for school lunch might be a good idea? Particularly since we get, lots of exchange students. Maybe they come from different cultures and maybe they would appreciate also vegetarian option. We are, after all, a kokusai. So let's see what you think, huh? Now, we've got today's reading, we've got 5 speakers, which makes it a little bit difficult for me. So I'm not very good at doing accents, but I thought, today I'm recording this on a Friday afternoon. School is kind of quiet. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to try. Speaker 1 is going to be basically me, which is an English accent. And then for speaker 2, I'm going over the C. I'm going to try and do an Irish accent. So the second speaker is going to be Irish. Could go badly wrong. Offend a lot of people. Then the third speaker, I'm going to try an American accent, which could offend even more people. I'm very sorry to my American friends for that. Then the fourth speaker, I go back home actually, where my original family comes from, which is Wales, and I'm going to serenade you with the beautiful tones of the Welsh accent. If you don't know what Wales is, look it up on the map. Then for the final accent, I'm going even more local. Now I come from the west of England. You go to London, I'll do it backwards. London is over there, and then in the middle of England you've got Oxford, and then a little 40 minutes over to the west of Oxford, there's my town, which is called Cheltenham, and there's quite a strong accent around that area called the Cotswolds, sort of a nice sort of country accent. I'm going to try and remember that one and try for speaker 5. So if you're sitting comfortably, gosh, I hope this goes all right, then I'll begin. So this is a reading called Teens Going Veggie. All right, so these are a bunch of kids who went vegetarian, I suppose. Okay, speaker one. Here we go. We're in England. I'm going to tell you so you don't have to guess, because I don't think it's going to be very easy to guess. Speaker one, England. I switched to vegetarianism 2 years ago because I read an article about all the health benefits. Best decision I ever made. I feel so much healthier now. My skin is really good. My hair is much shinier. You have to be super careful though, that you still get all the nutrients you need in your diet. The main problem for me is that I'm the only vegetarian in the family, and the others want to eat meat and fish. So sometimes it's a bit of a pain for my mum, because she's the one who does most of the cooking. She usually cooks for the rest of the family, then throws something together quickly just for me. She says I should learn to cook for myself, but I've got so much homework at the moment. Well, okay, I'm a bit lazy about cooking. I'm gonna have to get my act together or I'll be condemned to a diet of salads and omelets, which I like, but if that's all you're eating, it's pretty boring. Yeah, I like salads, omelette, but not every day. Okay, ready? Speaker two, up next. We're going to Ireland. Did you know that there are about 500,000 vegans in the UK? That's people who don't eat any animal products at all. They reckon the number is growing because of teenagers on social media like me. That's where I got links to videos which convinced me that it's the best option for animals, our planet, and my health. I did a lot of research into what kinds of things to eat before I changed my diet. I really think it's really easy to find vegans online who'll answer questions and give you advice. I've been given lots of useful tips, like you can eat chickpeas and spinach for iron, to make up for the iron you'd get from meat in a conventional diet. I still really miss fried eggs and normal chocolate. Non-vegan chocolate. My family have been supportive about the change, but I get teased a bit by school, Some people think that being a vegan is weird. Luckily, I've got a lot of friends who who tell them it's cool. Sorry, Ireland. Sincere apologies. Speaker three, America. Oh dear, why did I start this? I gave up eating meat a couple of years ago because at the time I was following a celebrity who was a veggie. Stupid reason, I know, but you see glamorous people on Instagram and you want their lifestyle, and I became a vegetarian. I think we're going further south here. I don't miss meat, but I still eat fish sometimes, which sort of isn't really allowed. My main problem is that I'm not too keen on vegetables. My dad finds that hilarious. He's always going, how can you be a vegetarian if you don't like vegetables? I do like chips though, and tomato ketchup. They're made from vegetables, aren't they? I don't eat that much fruit either, apart from bananas. Anyway, because my diet is a little on the unhealthy side, I take multivitamins every day. I also try and avoid rubbish like fizzy drinks and sweets. I don't think my diet's so bad. I feel pretty healthy. Speaker four, back into my comfort zone here. I'm going to Wales, which is in the west of the United Kingdom. My whole family is vegetarian. So if you're brought up that way, it seems perfectly normal. My parents are both good cooks, and we had a very varied diet. We ate lots of international dishes, Italian, Indian, Middle Eastern, and so on. I never really missed meat or fish except when I went out with friends. When I was young, I remember lots of birthday parties in hamburger places. That was a bit tricky. When you're young, you never like being different, but later, quite a few people in my class at school became vegetarian, so I was no longer the odd one out. Anyway, now I've left home, I keep having lapses. I wouldn't admit it at first, but I've tried meat a couple of times, and I'm really getting to like fish. I feel awful sometimes, but I love food and I want to experiment with everything. I haven't told my mum and dad. They'd be shocked. Now we get to speaker 5, different one here. Speaker 5 is from the Cotswolds, which is where I come from. My main reason for becoming vegan was that I can't stand the way we treat animals. Most farms are run in such an inhumane way. I refuse to support factory farming. The treatment of hens is horrific, not to mention what they do to cows. So now I don't eat any animal products. No meat, obviously, but no eggs or milk or cheese either. I don't eat fish, of course. When I first started to be a vegan, I found that I was getting tired all the time. I went to see a nutritionist and she said I wasn't getting enough protein. Now I'm a lot more careful and I eat lots of different nuts and seeds and pulses, dried beans and chickpeas and lentils. It's a bit time consuming buying and cooking special things, but now I feel really good. My family think I'm a bit weird. But they say gradually they're gradually coming round to my lentil and rice specials. Well, there you are, full of mistakes. I'm sorry about that. I don't think I've got the energy to do that again. I hope you could follow some of it anyway, but you can still print this thing out from the British Council or look at it on your phone. Try and do the exercises, try and do the answers. Well, let's set you a little question then for the writing part of today's. Vegetarianism. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? If you became a vegetarian, what sort of things do you think you could eat? I mean, remember, being a vegetarian, you're eating vegetables all the time. Well, not all the time, obviously, you're not a cow. But every day, your meals would be meat-free. And also, of course, what do you think about the fact that, there's different sort of levels of vegetarian? Fish is okay, maybe, or no dairy, or what do you think of those things? So, question today really is, do you think you could become a vegetarian? Why? Or why not? Thank you very much for your listening, and thank you for your patience today. Boom, boom.